Okay, so here we are coming up to IKEA at Clermont Ferrand, and first thing I always do is to go into the little section at the end of the shop where they have all the bargains. So I went into the bargain section, but it was a little bit sparse on things that I actually haven't already got, or there wasn't anything really too exciting. I suspect they're going to have sales in January, so they're probably waiting for all that sort of stuff to come through. But you can usually get some really good deals in this section. It's ex-display stuff or stuff. There's even like big wardrobes and big kitchen furniture pieces, and it's just that the packaging's been damaged, and you're getting quite good discounts on it. So they're also doing at the front of the store, which is just before the tills, they seem to be redoing the display, and there's some small amount of Christmas things that are on sale. Christmas decorations, we'll come to that section in a second, but the middle bit they seem to be doing a big new display, and I suspect this is the sale items. So in January they have lots of items that go on really, really good deals. They might even start, like after Christmas, just straight after Christmas. So that's what I think they're getting ready. In the middle section, you can see it sort of taped off with red and white tape here, but it's not finished as yet. So there's only a small amount of Christmas decorations actually. I thought there'd be a lot more, but they're quite nice decorations they've got. Didn't get anything, of course, because I've got millions of already. But these baubles here were massive. I mean, just ginormous. You'd need a huge tree to put those on. Lots of nice things as usual. Little dwarf, elf, Christmas helper. Maybe it was Santa, I'm not quite sure. I didn't buy him anyway. So I just have a little look in this section here before I go in, because otherwise you can go in and buy something that's actually it's in the sale section, so you can save yourself quite a bit of money. So quite a lot of different interesting little Christmas things around here. So I'm using my hidden camera, so it just looks like a pen, if you will, and it's a fisheye camera, so that's why it kind of looks a little bit weird around the edges where I'm filming. But I think the quality of the film is not too bad. It's not as good as my regular camera, but it's not too bad. Here's all the wooden Christmas toys, which I suspect will go on. They're going to be going on sale. I'm not sure what date it'll be going on sale, but all this Christmas stuff will be going on sale. Now the only thing with this camera is I'm holding it in my hand, kind of at waist level. Now what I should have done is hold it a lot higher, because I'm thinking that you can see what I can see, but obviously my head is at head level and the camera's at waist level, so you can't actually see what I can see. But now that I've done this film, I'll hold it up higher next time. It's designed to actually fasten into your shirt or a suit jacket pocket, this camera, so I was holding it too low, but I'll know for next time. It'll give you some sort of idea anyway of the type of things that are available in IKEA. Now I'm going backwards here, so I'm going from the tills back into the store, because I thought in the garden section, I thought that's where they'll usually have Christmas decorations, the big Christmas section, but they didn't. There was very little Christmas stuff in there, apart from the stuff that I've just shown you just before the tills. So I was quite disappointed in that. They usually do have some quite good Christmas items. Anyway, this is all the what's it called, where you've got to go and find your row number and what alley number it's in, and then you can go and pick up your flat packed items if you're wanting to buy anything. So again, going backwards, I'm in the carpet department now, having a look at the little rugs, and then after the carpet department, or before if you're going the right way, is the garden section. So they seem to have a lot of new carpets that I haven't seen before. I usually go every couple of months to IKEA just go with my friend and have a meal. And she drops the kids in the play centre, and then we have a good nose around. So on the left here is all the artificial plants, and they've got a much bigger selection than they used to have, much, much bigger. But again, I thought there would be more Christmas stuff, but the plants that they do have look really nice. And then on the other side, we'll come to in a moment, is all the real fresh plants. And the section was bigger than usual, and really, really nice fresh plants and candles and all sorts of things. The smell in here is lovely. They have a lot of nice homeware stuff in at the moment, but not so much Christmas stuff. But then I suppose it's like coming to the end of December. That's probably why they've just moved it all towards the end of towards the end of the shop. So hopefully this will give you an idea of what's for sale in the French IKEA rather than if you have a UK IKEA. It's a long time since I've been to a UK IKEA. I used to go to the one at Warrington. Now, in a minute when we go into the restaurant, I've managed to film all the different wines and beers and what have you that are available. I don't remember there being wine on in the restaurant in Warrington. Maybe there is. Maybe they've got it these days. Maybe just because I was driving, I wasn't taking any wine. But the French would, they'd need wine. Oh, these candles smelled absolutely gorgeous. So delicious. Like, I think they were caramel and chocolate or coffee or something like that. Really nice. So I don't think anyone could see that this was a camera, so then you don't get people looking worried at you and, kind of acting strange or trying to get out of your way or whatever. And obviously from the other day when I was in the supermarket and the strange man asked me to stop filming, I thought I'm going to try this spy camera, because the thing that I'm thinking is IKEA are filming me. Everywhere you go in the store, most places you go out in the street, you're on CCTV camera somewhere. So I don't see why I can't film. I'm not filming anybody in the private houses. I'm not getting anybody's faces really. I don't think you'd be able to tell who these people are on the videos. So I don't see any problem with it. These are all the fresh plants. Really nice selection. And it used to be much, much smaller, the fresh plant section. So I don't know, it seems to have expanded a lot. Mind you, I didn't go around the whole store, so there might have been some sort of Christmas section, but I think that was it at the end, near the tills. Lots and lots of nice products. So here I'm like trying to show you all around, but you can't see because you're too low down. So I'm looking all around, but that's not really helping you any. So there's some peace lilies in a moment, you'll see. They were massive. They must have been, if you'd have had them on the floor, they'd have come up to waist height easily. Never seen such massive peace lilies. Although I do find that flowers from IKEA do die, plants rather, as soon as you take them home, they just die. I don't know why that is. So I wouldn't personally buy plants from IKEA. Here they are, the massive peace lilies. Huge. Absolutely massive. So don't forget you're actually at waist height, and these are higher than the camera. I mean, they're on a stand and that, but I should have put my hand out so you could have got some idea of the scale. Anyway, in a moment, when we leave the plant section, I'm going to go into the restaurant. So it's about 11:40, which was a mistake. You should go in 11:30, because if you're any later than that, it's when you get a queue. And you'll see that there is a queue of about 10 people in front of me. And I was in the restaurant for 23 minutes till I got my food. So obviously it was quite, well, it wasn't cold, but it was very lukewarm by the time I started eating it. So, that's quite a nice wall there. They've got a little garden section. So, hopefully, obviously if you've been to IKEA before in France, midday everybody eats. Anywhere, any sort of service stations or cafes, restaurants, midday everybody eats. And then if you get to like 2 o'clock, 2:30, there's no food. You can't go in a restaurant in France and get any food. They're very set on the times. So that's why I always like to go in at least at 11:30 at the latest, but I was a bit late. So you can see the patterns here on the rugs. This camera is not picking them up as well as my old camera would. And it's not too bad. It's not as good a quality, but at least people don't feel uncomfortable about it. Oh, this is a little section upstairs just before I went in the restaurant, the first little set that you go into. They lay out all their products like in a room setting. So I thought this one was quite nice, very Christmassy colours. I really like the fancy flowery settee and the velvet chairs, but I don't think they look that nice any time else apart from at Christmas. Kind of wintry. What would you do in the summer? You'd need to get covers, and this chair I don't think you can get covers for it. Otherwise you're going to be stuck with those kind of dark wintry colours all year round. So now we're just coming into a few of the room sets and then into a little tiny look at the settee section before I succumb to my hunger and go into the restaurant, try and get some food. Now the restaurant section, I've speeded it up. I've cut loads out just to give you an idea of what's available and what you could get, because nobody wants to be sitting through all that time waiting. And I don't know why they do it. I don't think they do it in the UK IKEA. Here's your wine sections. You've got red rosé, you've got a choice of white, chilled rosé, different reds, starters, cold starters, salmon and stuff like that. It's kind of generally the same sort of thing as you would get in the UK. Different salads that we're seeing here. Then there's kind of yogurts with fruit on top, fresh fruit, and then different cakes. They've got a dime bar cake, which is disgusting. In fact, all the desserts are disgusting at IKEA. I never get them. Then you've got drinks, water, Pepsi, and beer. Coming on to the hot section here. Now, there's about 5 people working, but only one of them's actually doing anything. 5 people have come into work today, that I can see behind this section, but only this one boy is doing anything. So maybe that's why the queue's so massive. And then the other boy does come along to help, but as is very typical in France, when I ask him for the boulette, which is the meatballs, he pretends he can't understand me. And he has to get my colleague, so I tell the colleague boulette, and the colleague understands me and has to translate to the new boy that I want boulette. There's only about 6 choices of things, and none of them sound like boulette apart from the boulette. But they've got a vegetarian one, I suppose. Maybe he thought I wanted that, but he didn't say that. He just said, I've got no idea what you're saying. I can't speak English. So it's very common, this. If you don't have exactly perfect pronunciation, they'll pretend to not understand you. This young boy should have understood, should have done English at school. Just, I don't know. I wasn't speaking English to him anyway. I was just speaking French with an accent. But it is very common throughout France. If you do come to France and try and speak French, there will be people who just will refuse to try to understand you, refuse to make any effort. So here's your choices. You've got fish, you've got chicken, vegetables. Then you go along to the further section where you've got your free choice of vegetables that you can put on, or chips. I always go for chips. Going for meatballs, you may as well go for the chips as well. So now this is another problem. So there's about 6 tills, but only one person working on the till. So as you're waiting, you can't even put your tray down yet because there's that many people waiting, and your food's just going cold. So I was just troughing the chips as I was waiting. They are nice chips that they do, and I mean, I've had to cut loads out of this. I was about 10 minutes waiting for people to mess about. There's a lady paying with holiday checks. She must have paid with about 15 €5 checks. But anyway, that's what happens if you go in after 11:30. It tasted alright, even though it was lukewarm. Make sure I go in earlier next time. Well, look at me doing the, what's it called, contact thing. Well, these are little sauces you can get, which is vinaigrette, mustard, ketchup and mayonnaise. Right, this is the clip that I took again, continuing shopping. So this is the, what's it called, sofa department. Now, I didn't go round the whole store because I've been round I don't know how many times, but I did go around and do certain sections, and it'll give you some idea. If you've been to IKEA before, you probably don't need to carry on watching, but if you haven't and you're interested to watch, then you're very welcome to carry on watching, but I'm not going to be carrying on talking. I think when I was actually in there, I was going round because I thought, yeah, I want to get myself some meatballs. But I've had my meatballs now and I'm losing interest in IKEA now. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.